Welcome back, folks, to this part of Let's Play Resident Evil 4. Now, in the previous part, I chose to avoid talking to the merchant, and, are you kidding me? This is such... Come on. Fuck. What the hell? Finally, jeez. Well, that's going to be really bad tithing, because I said I was going to avoid the merchant and this. And this requires a great deal of focus and aim. And what I am talking about is the shooting range. Now, rapid fire, I think if you could be very precise about your button presses, that this would be really good, but otherwise... I'd recommend the sniping one. This is something that is undeniably was undeniably easier in the Wii version, because on the Wii version, Leon's hands didn't shake because, like, you were using the reticule. So, because of that, everything was based on how shaky your hands were. And if you go back and watch my walkthrough in that version of the game, I was pretty dang good. But trying to get this on my first go was a little tricky, but I think I might fast forward through after the first one, because once you've seen target practice, you've kind of seen target practice. I'll come back to this on once I get to the second stage of it, because after you beat 4 of these in a row, you'll end up getting a different stage. Now, what happens here is you'll win a rare prize for either going above a certain score or hitting every single target, and that's why I won the rare prize. Make it begin again, and you have to win this 4 times. Every time you win it, you'll get a very specific bottle cap from the merchant. If you get all the bottle caps in a row for this area, or for this shooting range, you'll get a sizable payout from the merchant. However, that is a bit easier said than done, and all the bottle caps that it gives you are basically almost like action figures, or actually talking figures. So yeah, basically talking, well, actually, they're talking standing dolls, I should say. And, shit. And they all have to do with the game. Ooh, and as a general rule of thumb, if you don't miss anybody and you at least hit one back-ass Salazar head, and the reason Salazar comes up is if you hit 5 shots in a row without missing, Salazar will come up. It doesn't have to do with headshots. It's just that headshots will reward you, I believe, twice as many points as non-headshots. Now, the other weapon you have in the sniping moveset is the non-automatic sniper rifle. And I'm not sure if I like that for this, because the time for these sections is not long enough for you to be able to fire more than one shot. So if you make any kind of mistake, you're not gonna have a good time. Alright, looks like I'm doing pretty well here. Oh wow. Ah shit. That looks like I messed up, but I still got good enough. Now, what is the reward? Well, pretty much money, but the other thing is, like, there's a bit of a sense of accomplishment in this, and it is kind of a good way of practicing. This is a very safe zone to learn how to shoot very precisely. enemies will not always be in like great distances, and obviously they won't be standing still. But you know, this is better than nothing. And hell, this might be able to test your reaction time. And it actually even tests like your perception of like what weapons should you use at a certain distance. Like, I could pull out my sniper rifle, but I don't. But I will now. And now you can see why I don't like using that gun, because it's because the reload is pretty slow. And yes, hitting anything on that back, or I should say that that background there. If you hit a particular point, it can cause some kind of event to occur. And now we're gonna get to stage 2 of this. Hitting the bell will automatically reload your gun, so it's actually not necessary for you to ever do it. Ah, now Ashley comes into this. Once Ashley is here, Ashley will reduce your score by about 1,000 every time you hit her. Obviously, the trick is to be looking at what you're about to shoot and not just shooting at anything. Presumably, this was to stop people who just go crazy with machine guns, although people who go crazy with machine guns more than likely will not be getting headshots. And they get kind of obnoxious with how Ashley will get in your way in this. Wow, that was close. Alright. And I think I think the only reason I actually got above 3,000 in that was... Oh, wait, no. Okay, well, I think I did just barely decently enough. What the score to get a bottle cap, I think, is 3,500, but it could also be 3,000. I know for the rare prize, you actually need a score of more than 4,000. Let's see. What are some things that could trigger from that background? If you hit the chimney, a bunch of smoke will come in, and that gets kind of obnoxious. Oh, dang it. Hitting the hive is gonna spawn a bunch of bees, which has already happened like 6 times. And I think there's a few more. But I guess I'll comment. Ah, jeez. Oh no, I failed that. And that's what happens when you fail. The game laughs at you. Alright, I'm gonna try the other side. The neat thing about this shooting range is that you can pretty much move wherever you want. I mean, you can't move next to the targets themselves, but nothing's stopping you from moving like to the left or right all you want. Usually these sort of games put you in a very specific target area, or a very specific place to plant your feet, you know, like in a real targets practice. Ah, jeez. Wow. I'm sucking pretty badly here. Fuck. Okay. And for some reason, the women actually give, like, twice as much points as the men do. Ah, jeez. Well, I just... Oh, no, I think I got over that pretty well. And that was the 6th victory. And that's going to give me enough to end the game and get 6 bottle caps. Completing a row will earn... The first row will earn you 15,000 pesetas. Now, what are the 6 bottle caps? Let's examine them. First up is Leon with a rocket launcher, but what is not noted is the jacket he is wearing. This is a jacket you can buy much later in the game that, if I recall, like, will reduce your damage by a bit. I'll probably still buy it. But it's not worth the money it costs, but it's better than nothing. And every bottle cap you get will make a sound.
Stand back!
I don't believe Leon ever says that in the entire game.
Don't worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
He, assuming I had just chosen to play that cutscene, that's what he would have said. He says that like 5 times. But, I don't remember it being by itself. You're probably going to hear that quite a bit. Now, apparently this quote is actually in the game, but I've never heard it myself.
Did you send out those invitations? I told you no more than 50 people.
Supposedly where it actually comes out is the cabin scene in chapter 2-2, but I've never gotten it myself.
Leon, now!
This actually happens at a scene very, very late in the game, where Ada just riddles somebody with bullets and then gives Leon a cue. By the way, totally reasonable gun pose, right? Just look at how stable that footing is. Then again, Ada, the way she presents herself seems more about style rather than precision. Anyway, now we can go talk to... Wait, oh my god, the merchant teleported! My god. We must go inside his head. Can it be done? Ah, dang it. We went inside his jacket. That's not as cool. Oh well.
Welcome.
Okay.
Got some rare thing.
Now, talk to the merchant. You can get it. I can get an upgrade for my red 9.
Is that all? Is that?
Firing speed is as good as it's gonna get. However, power, trust me, is gonna get a lot better. It's not worth really upgrading the shotgun any more than I already have, but upgrading the rifle is always worthwhile, particularly in this next chapter, where we're gonna be dealing with some obnoxious bugs.
Is that all?
Anyway, sell off excessive jewelry that can never be upgraded.
Stranger? Is that
I've always
all?
thought the gold bangle could be upgraded,
Thank
but
you.
I've never found a way to do it.
Come
And I don't think I've... hold on, I don't think I ever actually equipped this scope with my sniper rifle. You can either combine it or just grab it and then automatically put it over. And then it should have the scope attached. Yep, the scope is attached. So anyway, while I'm out here in a safe zone, I'll reload my weapons. The Red 9 will almost always be considered one of the slowest handguns in the game. In fact, I do think that compared to other handguns once they're fully upgraded, the Red 9 is most likely the slowest out of them all. But it is also one of the most hard-hitting, and this is why I actually chose to keep it for this area. Or pretty much throughout the entire game. The ultimate upgrade of this hits pretty much as hard as a shotgun from the beginning of the game. Which, for a handgun, is pretty darn good. So yeah, this is, another place where they try to get kind of spooky, but also kind of goofy. So we basically have insect bugs that are invisible, so there's something kind of spooky about it, but it's also kind of goofy. If you know their locations, which, if you play this game enough, you probably will eventually find them out. You can spot them pretty quickly and take them out before they ambush you. Alright. They can be pretty well recognized by splash damage done around them, or splash effects done around them, or perhaps their slobber. Their slobber is always a good way to see them. Alright. Always pick things up. And unfortunately, I know the items they drop do depend on what color their eyes are. Like, if you shoot them at a certain time, they'll be more or less likely to drop certain jewels. But the most common of them all, and the one you'll be getting the most, is green. Anyway, one guy hiding. Some of these guys are more tough than others. Oh, I got a red one? Ah, dang. Hey, what the? Oh, shit. I thought for a second that that was one that I thought for a second that that was a document, but I guess I'm in the wrong stall. Anyway, here's a nice place for a yellow herb. And since I'm already partially wounded, I will heal myself with this and fill up my life. Or like, increase my life, if you will. Anyway, go into this cell. Get more shotgun shells. Get this Luis memo. It's interesting that when you watch the cutscenes, it is presumed that Leon read through all of these, and in fact read through some of the future ones. Because he says things sometimes that, like, just don't outright make sense. Like, it's like he just figured it out. Oh, jeez. And there's something kind of obnoxious, or really annoying about them sometimes. These bugs like to jump around onto the ceiling, onto the walls, and because of that, when using an item like a sniper rifle, or hell, even close-range weapons like the shotgun, they can be very easy to miss. Even with all the noise they make, a lot of their attacks come off like a huge surprise, and without any kind of QTE to get out of it, it can be really... It can be a very old-school Resident Evil jump attack scare. Anyway, every time you beat this area, every time you come to this area, there will always be somebody hiding in the vents. I believe another one will spawn almost immediately. Yep. Ah, jeez. Ah, that is one of the attacks they have. They can cough up acid and then spit it at you. I think there's actually one animation in the game of Leon's face getting melted off. Or not like a detailed animation, it's the aftermath, I should say. There's a model of Leon that way, if I was to put it in words, and a bug is about to kick out of that. So, gotta be ready. Ah, jeez. Thankfully, I got him before he spit that fucking acid in my face. That's the only ranged attack they have, but it is a good one. I can see his slobber, but I'm not sure if I can hit him. Alright, might be able to. Nope. Got him. Oh! Ah, dang it, I've been missing way too much. Alright. So I got the green herb, and I got the red herb. Dang it. No blue herbs. Or I should say, I'm sorry, not herbs. Jewels, or eyes. Eyes. Whew. Okay, now into the next section. Every time you come in here, a bug will fall from the ceiling. Make sure to take it out. Dang it, why am I missing so? Wow, did he just pounce up to the ceiling? Wait for him. He'll always need to go... This is the only way to get to this next region. So he has to come through this door. Jeez, green eyes. You want to get lucky to get blue eyes. The game gives you plenty of opportunities to get them, but still getting blue eyes is pretty rare. You'll almost always get at least 2 by the end of the game, though, and that's all you'll need for combining treasure. Next up is a very simple tension puzzle. Or not even a puzzle, it's timing. Whoa. That was simple enough. But it is quite tense, you know, knowing, oh geez, I could die at any second. Alright, I'm fine. It's the largely insubstantial tension that sort of balances out the more bullcrap tension. Alright, next up, we'll need the flash grenade that we got at the beginning of this sewer region in order to be able to take on this next horde we got up here. Now, considering this is the same room we were in, you may wonder, what the hell was ever the point of that area? Well, Well, you knocked a ladder down, and you can now access these chandeliers. Using a flash grenade, blind these guys, and then run to that door in the end. They will almost always try to run for this door and have it automatically close whenever you get near. So if you close it for them, they will not be able to run away, and none of them have any weapons. So if you're any good at knifing, which apparently I am not, you can just take care of these guys one at a time. The only thing is, though, that there are so many of them that it can be very, very hard to keep track. It's probably the largest group of unarmed zealots in the entire game. Pretty much every group, even from the beginning of the game, had weapons, but none of these guys do. And I believe only one of them can transform into an advanced parasite, which I think is the red guy. Ah, jeez. So yes, even with these guys not having any weapons, I am still losing health. I guess this always shows almost a side of people, like they value their own resourcefulness and trying to look awesome rather than their own health and safety. I know, maybe in many ways it sort of reflects what I am, you know. Am I really worth existing if I am not the best at what I do? Man, that was a lot more of a depressing thought than I thought it was. Shit! Yes, and yes, grapples from behind do not do any damage. But I think what happens is that if you get hit at any point, all the damage from that hit is actually amplified. Right. I believe these guys also get a hit of body armor, so a lot of times, even though you may hit them with a knife, they're just going to go right through it. Ooh, yes. And what's really strange about the red zealots is that at times they'll just stand there. They won't chase you, they'll just stand back. Even when all the enemies are gone, they won't really chase you. They'll wait for you to come to them. Shit, until you get too close. Yep. That's a good sign to know when the parasites are going to come out, is that when you pop their heads, you can still see the rest of their head hanging from the back of their neck. So anyway, get the Los Iluminados pendant. Anyway, this is the goal for the next area. This door. So it only opened up after going to the sewer. I'm not exactly sure what kind of relationship that is, but whatever.
Things on sale, stranger. What are you buying?
The merchant will not have anything new from the last time you were here. But anyway, that was a pretty good body count with a very minimal ammo count. But I did waste a lot of health items going through that. And that was probably not the smartest thing. I'm fairly certain most people there just pulled out a shotgun and started blowing heads off like nuts. But I guess with me, it's I've always had the issue that I think I brought up, that I try to prove myself a little too much, even when it's not necessary. And I know that can sometimes be really annoying. So I got an elegant mask. Anyway, you pull the switch, and it opens those doors, but unfortunately, you don't need to go through either of them. You just go through here. Now, I think that was supposed to be a way so that you could avoid fighting those guys, but I think if you just, like, alert them to your presence, they'll just run away regardless. Alright, grab a redder. Now, let me think. What is this next region? I believe in this coming area, there are 2 archers. So I'm gonna want to take special precautions against them. Well, there's 1 archer on the left side. You're gonna want to take. Oh no, there's 2. Ah, jeez. This is what's one of the more annoying things about this game. The archers are a little bit random. Well, no, like when there's 2 archers at the same time, them hitting you is kind of random. All right, you don't want to waste sniper rifle bullets because you're gonna want to have them for later on. So for these next guys who are in this room, even though I can't really see them, you're gonna want to use either your knife or your handgun. Be sure to break these things because you're always gonna get good treasure or moonies. Man, my aim is doing crap. Always save ammo. You can go for the semi-conservation route with what I tend to do in the Zealots area because the maces always tend to hit a lot farther than I think they would. A habit of mine is, instead of choosing to go for knife hits, what I'll go for is headshots into kicks, and then once they're down, start slashing them with a knife. Once I see they're getting up, give my distance, and then do the headshot, and the whole process starts over. Anyway, get more treasure. What I've always found is funny is Leon will break through glass windows as long as they're there, regardless of how fitting it is for the situation or not. Okay. Anyway, move here. You have this guy right here. And I've always liked suplexing this guy. Because onto stairs, I don't know whether grabs or other moves like these have special properties based on how far the people drop. It seems like they do, because I've always thought that enemies tend to die a little more often on stairs and like dropping off of like slopes like this, or like drops like this, I should say. Then when I come here, and it's a fake out, and you have 2 enemies right here, and they're actually 2 of the tougher enemies to deal with, and those are guys with hoods on. But anyway, go over here, and you can kill one. You can kill them both pretty easily with just the explosions. Leon will not take damage at certain ranges of explosions. Be sure to reload away from there because you gotta try to hit this guy really fast. Because if you could do all that, you will completely bypass the stage in which he will come out with a giant machine gun. And yes, that happens. Anyway, get the gallery key. What is the gallery? The gallery is where they have the portraits, of course. Portraits of what? Well, attempting to be some kind of survival horror game. Well, or at least have survival horror. Well, I would say survival horror presentation. And hell, even a little bit of a nod to older Resident Evil games with this little number. They have disturbing pictures of man getting guillotined, crucifixions, hangings, and more hangings. There is a very easy solution to this. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. Or hell, just press all of them at least once. And you will always have the correct answer. Open the door and you'll get a cutscene. Which I will skip, of course. In this area, you'll be immediately surrounded by a bunch of zealots, so it could be helpful to have just throw out a grenade. Gotta watch out, because you spawn a bunch of crossbow dudes. Alright. I'm gonna very quickly collect some ammo. Oh, the rocket guys, you actually don't have to worry about that bad. Because as long as you keep moving, they won't really hit you. Alright. But after you collect the Zealoth things, you go up. You go in here. Something here? Yes. Yellow herb. Always try to take that. Coming towards anybody with a crossbow, they'll be smart enough to actually try to walk away. You can try to use some environments to try to head them off at the pass if you can predict where they're coming from. And if you stay far away enough from all these crossbow wielders, you can actually pretty much see their bolts coming pretty well. Alright. There's always ammo scattered about, but the knife is always an option. Deactivating the security system will, for some reason, bring up that. You can try to take care of these guys. However, I don't think I believe at this stage these guys are infinitely spawning. All right. Break this pot, and you'll get a secret button. And now you have a bridge to that area. I think Leon could have jumped that, but whatever. Now, you don't want to open this door on your first try. What I recommend you do is run up against it, and it will trigger two people on the other side to use their rocket launchers. So move on. I want to take care of some of these guys before going into the center, because going right into the center is going to make you an open target for these guys. Shit, this guy, oh my god, this guy's running, holy shit. That is actually terrifying, oh my god. The rules have been broken. What scared me? When the rules made no sense. I really shouldn't be in this region, but I don't want to get close to them. Crossbow wielders are always the guys that are the most terrifying, because they can just hit you at surprise, and they do pretty good damage. Alright. Oh, wow. A lot of times these guys just won't really chase after you. Oh, and you can get them in... Oh, I thought I can get them in an AI loop. I'm trying to... Yeah, sometimes when you can get them in an AI loop, you can predict the loop and then just, you know, hit them with a knife. Anyway, always be on the lookout for treasure. And... Oh, this guy thinks he's safe, but he's not. And I missed. Oh, I missed. There are a few enemies scattered about, but as I said, I don't think they're... At this stage, I don't think they're infinitely spawning. Shit. These guys aren't insta-kill, but they do a heavy amount of damage. Oh my god! How did I miss all of those guys? Holy crap, where did they come from? Wow. Alright. Divide and conquer. Alright. Everyone's been taken care of. So now I can move on to the spoils. So what was it that opened up in the center? The goat head. Remember that ornament? Or that thing that kind of came up? I bet you don't. But whatever. Now you could argue about this game becoming kind of dumb in the fact that it shows you... It gives you items that there's no way to get around it. You know, they're necessary, so they give them to you. But honestly, I think it's a constant. I think it's an intention. It's a way of intending to remind you. Ah, shit. That you have to remember this region. All right, shooting the crows there is a bad idea if you couldn't tell. What you're actually supposed to do, but I don't have a flash grenade, is wait for these crows to start scattering about, and then throw a flash grenade. If you time it right, you can get a good deal of them. And here is another example of this. There are 3 crows there. You could use a flash grenade, and you could take them out pretty well. But you can shoot them just as well. One of these guys, I believe, drops something like 5,000 gold. No, so it was 17,000. But either way, it's pretty good money. So remember how I said you can get the one of the magnums for free? Well, this is how you can do it. How? Well, you need, of course, Ashley. But Ashley is not with us. Well, not for long. Anyway. It's interesting that people call this game hyper-linear when it's actually relatively not as non-linear as other games are. It's non-linear in the same way that games like Doom are non-linear. Like, Doom is actually kind of a weird comparison. But sort of the idea of having an end objective, but kind of having a semi-non-linear way to do it, is sort of the form of this game.
Mr. Kennedy.
This game has this next part has one of the weirdest translated lines in the game.
Do you like my garden?
I see you've managed to work in a little of your twisted taste here, too.
Sagacious as I am, even I get lost here sometimes. Even if it takes your whole life, you'll never get out. Do you know that no one dies without a cause? You will satisfy the stomachs of my cute pets. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to tie up a few loose ends, like chasing down a couple of rats.
2 rats? If one's Lewis, who's the other? Huh. They're an intruder besides me?
Yeah, there was a couple of things wrong with that last sentence. First of all, couple, while oftentimes it is associated with 2, he didn't. It's not. It can sometimes mean just more than a few or more than one is usually the implication of couple. I guess we have a very polygamous number system or language system. So yes, the return of the dogs. Some decent enemy variety. These animals are more like sporadic. They're the more chaotic type of tension where it's like, oh shit, something could happen any second. Which is strangely older school Resident Evil among all this newer stuff. But these guys have such jittery movement. That makes them kind of annoying to shoot. They have like the Resident Evil 5 problem where they run at you at full speed and then just stop. Although here's a little easier to deal with. Because like there's no way you can go for a headshot. So there's no temptation for it. Anyway, I'm opening this up for absolutely no reason. They're not locked in here with me. I'm locked in here with them. Anyway, point of this area is to get the 2 moon halves to put in the door. How do you get the moon halves? Well, you gotta explore the maze. Ooh, full aid spray. Or first aid spray. Oh, jeez. Why did I put up the map? Oh, yeah, that's real nice. Have the fucking solution to the map right there. Still, I guess being in the maze is always different to, you know, just looking at it from overhead. If you come in this way, I believe a dog will always come up at you. Alright. I should probably use a shotgun for this area since the dogs tend to be a little... This tends to be a lot better. Going in here will actually spawn a dog, but it will give you the red gem. Oh, it doesn't spawn a dog. I thought it did. could have sworn it did. I can't remember whether the dog is in here or whether this spawns a dog. Well, getting this yellow herb, dogs will follow you. I guess not. Oh, I think it's that they're all in that cabin shit. Alright, I'm running away from that dog. I'm just coming up here. He'll probably follow me up here anyway. Ah, geez, the tentacles came out. Anyway, activate the moonstone, and this will spawn more dogs. Oh, I guess not. I'm getting confused when dogs spawn and when they don't. But all that growling is from that pack of canines. Now I'm going to try to hit him with a flash grenade, but it is tricky. Ah, jeez. I did damage, but I didn't hurt him. Or I didn't kill him. Somehow I opened the door, though. Ah, jeez. Pretty dang vicious dogs. I'm gonna go for a shotgun blast since they are also close. Well, on the menu, I'm gonna use a yellow herb to heal myself. Yeah, it only took one shotgun blast. It might take 2 or 3 at other times, but I'm thinking that the flash grenade weakened him. This might be like a stage 2 of the previous scene dog, because those guys insta-died to frickin' to flash grenades, whereas these guys did not. But then again, those I believe had their tentacles exposed, and that might have made a difference. Get shotgun shells, and a dog will immediately come out. 2. Do I have this game memorized? Maybe. I'm actually calling a lot of the action as it comes. This area is kind of annoying for first-time players because they're just going to keep getting jump scared. But I think because you do have a lot of the best tools, and because I think the game gives you a lot of the best tools, or basically gives you the option to use some of the best tools for this job, I don't think it's that bad. The hard part is just knowing when they're coming from and like being able to aim at them. Anyway, I think 3 dogs come in now. All at once. Ah, jeez. Ah, the timing on that is a little tricky. So I gotta heal myself again. Alright. When the tentacles come out, they just start lashing at you. And hey, easy shortcut at the beginning. Whew! Okay, so that was the hedge maze. Anyway, we're gonna end. Looks like we're gonna have to. Looks like this is gonna be the end for this part of Let's Play Resident Evil 4. Refined gameplay and no cutscenes. Next time. Well, after this little cutscene where we introduce Ada, we're gonna have to say next time. I'm going to find where Ashley is find where they've hidden Ashley. So, see you guys then. Use a blue moonstone. Introducing Ada. See you guys later.